Welcome to Star Secrets by Brooke, where fame gets real. Secrets, all with a touch of elegance. Hit subscribe and step inside the world they don't want you to see.
When Barron Trump wept uncontrollably after announcing a huge revelation about his dad, everyone was taken aback by the dramatic incident that had everyone buzzing. It was only the second time that Barron ever came out of the shadows, and he made a heartfelt statement that left everyone stunned. What did he exclaim? Why was this so effective? To find out more about Barron's emotional declaration, watch until the end. The Great Union. It was in the late 1990s that Melania Knauss and Donald Trump first crossed paths at a trendy party in New York City. Melania, a stunning Slavic model who had immigrated to the United States to pursue her dreams, grabbed the attention of Donald, a renowned businessman and TV reality show host. Then the two quickly bonded, and what was initially a random encounter soon turned into a hot romance that later took over the hearts of the public. The relationship between the couple was a mix of secrecy and glamour. Melania was private, while Donald was frequently making headlines about his business and virtual life. This romance was passionate and long-lasting through the shared love of luxury and achievement. Donald proposed to Melania on her birthday, April 26, 2004, after dating her for some years, during which they were planning their wedding. They made their proposal while still together in New York City, gifting her an exquisite diamond engagement ring. Donald and Melania shared vows in a very lavish wedding on January 22, 2005, which was both socially important and very personal. They had the whole high society, from politicians to business leaders to stars, attending the event to mark this important milestone. As they stood at the podium promising to support and love one another, the couple's love for one another was clear. The celebrations went on at Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago Club, which is close to the church. Donald and Melania, after the ceremony, spent some private moments together as the night went on, revealing the chemistry and love they shared. With the glitz and glamour that surrounded their love, they danced, joked, and interacted with the guests. The wedding was widely covered in the media, detailing every step of the ceremony and providing information about the couple's lavish lifestyle. Donald and Melania managed the complexities of their relationship in public after they were wedded. Melania's fashion and modeling career frequently made her a fashion icon, and being alongside Donald cemented the couple as a power duo. Melania played the supportive wife role as Donald continued to build his business empire, attending events and meetings with him on a regular basis while still having her own identity. The couple had one child together, Barron William Trump, born on March 20, 2006. Their lives were filled with a new meaning with his birth, and both parents were committed to making him feel at home, so that Barron could have a secure childhood away from the dramatic press scrutiny that often trailed the Trump name. Melania, specifically, assumed the role of protective mother. From the time he was born, the couple knew the importance of offering a caring environment in which to raise their son, Barron. Melania stood by Donald's side as he campaigned for his political ambitions and was elected the 45th President of the United States. She took up the role of First Lady with dignity and grace, tending to include her own life in her activities at the White House. Her emphasis on children's affairs, welfare, and family values showed her commitment towards establishing a homely atmosphere for her son and preserving the dignity of family. Barron's childhood had its share of happier and tougher times over the years. He faced the specific stresses of being a child of a notable family, but he also received the perks that came with his surname. Barron has fascinated the public eye, with numerous individuals speculating about his future and how he will cope as the son of an ex-president. What kind of legacy Barron Trump will leave, and how his privileged marriage has affected his existence. Come with us and delve into the personal life of Barron Trump. Being the youngest son to Donald and Melania Trump, Barron Trump has led a low-key life, away from the close media attention that usually comes with political celebrity families. Barron was raised in an environment where his parents went out of their way to keep him out of publicity. Since he was the lone child of Donald and Melania Trump, he was bathed in riches and power. Yet his parents made efforts to ensure that he remained as normal as anyone else. With the special circumstances of being part of the Trump family, Melania was an adoring mother who was very protective of her son from a very young age. Melania attempted to offer Barron a home life with loving care despite the media usually being interested in Donald's public image and political life. Such a need for privacy transcended the capabilities of his public image. It touched the whole organization of his childhood life. Barron's interface with the external world was subjected to Melania's protective attitude, which offered him a more organized setting in which to develop. The upscale Manhattan apartment in which Barron spent his childhood was a reflection of the family's prosperity and stature. Nevertheless, his parents' commitment to giving him a level-headed upbringing did not come at the expense of an extravagant lifestyle. He went to the exclusive Columbia Grammar and Preparatory School in New York City. This choice permitted him to keep some anonymity while still permitting him to go to school with other kids from affluent families. In spite of the difficulties of growing up in the public eye, Melania and Donald stressed the importance of friendship and everyday childhood pleasures. Barron was forced to adapt to major changes. When Donald Trump became president in January 2017, Donald and Melania decided to leave Barron in New York City for the rest of the school year in order to maintain a stable home for their son. Following his studies at Columbia University, he transferred to S.V. Andrews Episcopal School in Maryland, where he continued to perform academically at a high level. This decision was a reflection of his parents' wish to see Barron have an exceptional education without the pressures of the daily media scrutiny that often accompanies children of political leaders. Barron's childhood was also full of rich cultural influences. He speaks both Slavonic and English, which he acquired because his mother is Slavonic. Milana's dedication to teaching Barron his heritage is shown through this skill. She ensured he was comfortable within the American environment, but did stress the importance of learning more than one language. This language and culture mixing has probably made Barron more well-adjusted in life, with an appreciation both for his heritage and for his environment now. Being the youngest child of a well-known family, Barron had special difficulties growing up. He wasn't pushed into the limelight nearly as much as his step-half siblings from Donald's earlier marriages, who had more prominent roles. He was able to develop away from the constant media spotlight that comes with a high-profile family due to his relative isolation. The controversy surrounding the merits of protecting children from the public eye, particularly at an age when they are still discovering who they are, has been sparked by this choice. Barron Trump was raised in a setting which blended riches with basic family values. Though they were rich, his parents, especially Melania, instilled in him the importance of humility, love, and relationships. They prioritized family time and would frequently dine together, establishing a positive atmosphere where Barron could grow both intellectually and emotionally. His parents deliberately attempted to teach him the significance of hard work and being thankful for what he already had. They instilled in him a practical perspective of success in finance, reminding him frequently that not everyone is as fortunate. Aside from Barron's schooling, the fundamental principle of this background equipped him to face life's adversity. Throughout his school years, Barron formed friendships that were crucial to his adult social development, but he also had to contend with the peculiar problems of being the son of a publicly recognized celebrity. It wasn't always simple to balance friendship and the attention that came from being a Trump supporter. Barron had to contend with the realities of his surname and what it meant in social circles, even after he formed friendships. But his natural shyness and reserve made him able to form genuine relationships, enabling him to be able to appreciate friendships based on common interests and not merely his family life. The intricacy of Barron's situation grew even more as he entered adolescence. facing the harsh realities of media scrutiny and cyberbullying, and Melania never faltered in trying to fix these problems. She was among other former first daughters who shared similar sentiments by publicly embracing Barron's right to a peaceful upbringing. Support by individuals such as Chelsea Clinton, who implored the media to give Barron a break, reflected shared insight into the unique trials children of prominent individuals endure. As Barron grew older, his public image evolved subtly. His appearance at formal receptions and family gatherings indicated that his role in the family system was becoming more distinguishable. In spite of these external appearances, his mother remained a firm caregiver, never oblivious to how the media and public opinion might affect her son. Barron Trump was molded by money, culture, and seclusion during his childhood. He goes on to work out the intricacies of his identity in terms of love, defense, and the sensitivity of a balance between personal desire and public duty. The Barron is embarking on a journey that will undoubtedly be uniquely his own, though he will always be remembered as Donald Trump's youngest son. However, despite his mother's influence, one question remains. How much of an impact did his relationship with his father have on who he is today? We'll tell you. Barron Trump's relationship with his father, Donald Trump, has been influenced by both the public image of his family and his personal life. Melania was a more involved parent when raising the Barron, who grew up removed from the political limelight, in contrast to his older siblings. His bond with his father has also been under controversy, with differing opinions on how close they were to each other. Barron has been widely publicly praised by Donald Trump, who regularly comments on his outstanding height and agility, regularly stating that he is taller than him and that he believes he has a bright future, sometimes saying he is a good athlete and a fine student. Trump has also commented on Barron's increasing interest in politics, especially in 2024 presidential election. Trump says Barron has provided him with sage advice on how to connect with youth, including how to appear on social media platforms that are popular with young people. Trump took Barron's words to heart, pointing out that his youngest son is knowledgeable about how politics is going. In spite of the public admission by Trump, various sources have asserted that there were times of distance between them. In his book, See Trump Under Fire, Michael Wolff, a journalist, asserted that Trump and Barron were not close to each other and did not frequently talk to one another. These assertions contradict Trump's own statements, wherein he has spoken about his relationship with Barron as polite and motivating. He explained that they loved hanging out together, particularly during family dinner, where they are believed to have lively discussions. Sports is among the things the father and son have in common. Barron has shown strong interests in football, while Trump loves golf. Even though they have different sporting interests, Trump has attempted to connect with Barron, even taking him for golfing at times. He has frequently joked about his son's giant stature, implying that it grants him a sports benefit. Trump also intimated that Barron was weighing various professional career choices without elaborating. Their relationship seems to have evolved as Barron has grown up. Barron has had a low-key profile, in contrast to Trump's older kids who have been drawn into his business and political worlds. However, being associated with the 2024 campaign has meant a shift in his position in the family. It is not yet known whether he would come out more in public in the future. Nevertheless, a presentation by Trump suggests that he respects Barron's thoughts and believes in his future. Although the close relationship between Barron and his father has not at all times been apparent, it is evident that they are experiencing periods of intimacy, even when public opinion concerning the relationship provides alternative interpretations. Their relationship will likely change further as Barron grows older, particularly as he starts making his own way in life. Donald Trump has delighted in extolling Barron's virtues in the past few years, speaking of his son's prospects, brains, and physical stature during various speeches and campaign rallies. Trump frequently jokes about Barron's height, claiming that he is already taller than he is, which he believes will benefit him in both life and athletics, although he has a reputation as a competitor with the former president. Barron's unobtrusive confidence appears to appeal to him. It is suggested that Trump and Barron have similar senses of humor. Their companions attest that Barron possesses a powerful sense of humor and is a lively personality. Even though he has mostly been out of the limelight, Trump, who is famous for his over-the-top personality, has joked about his son's capacity to catch his humor. Even though he is quiet by nature, some report that Barron is himself dryly humorous and frequently quick-witted enough to get a chuckle out of his father. Their collaboration, though, has not been smooth sailing. Barron was brought up differently from his elder brothers due to the fact that he is the youngest of many children, where business and politics are the central theme. Barron was still a young teenager when his dad ventured into politics, but Donald Trump Jr., Ivanka, and Eric Trump were actively engaged with the Trump Organization and the presidential campaigns of their father. That generational difference and variation in life experience has created a connection that sometimes has been strained more than Trump, with his elder children, is conceivable. By some accounts, Donald Trump had little interaction with Barron because of his hectic schedule during his presidency. Melania raised much of Barron because of White House responsibilities, constant travel, and political demands. In spite of this, there have been moments that have showcased their bond. Trump has publicly shown his affection and pride for his son at significant family gatherings, including Barron's birthday celebrations. By some family sources, he loves having Barron around him, although he is not as forthcoming about him as he is about his other children, even when he hardly ever explains what those dreams could be. His public comments about Barron's future suggest Trump has great expectations for him. Whether Barron becomes a public figure or not is uncertain, but it is obvious that Trump is very proud of him. Their relationship may strengthen even more as Barron grows up, particularly with the increased participation of Trump in planning his son's future. Barron is the most reserved of the Trump kids these days, but his father's legacy will probably continue to haunt him as he carves out his own career. But as Barron continues to grow up, the question inevitably becomes of whether or not he'll take after his dad or blaze his own trail. Harry! Gospel! Wait till the turning point. Barron Trump enjoyed a sheltered upbringing throughout his childhood, away from the focal point that tending to a well-known family so often affords. Once he reached adulthood, however, a number of events unfolded that created a major change, catapulting him into the spotlight and creating considerable interest in his pursuits and future. Barron made a big splash at his father's inauguration in January 2025, and it received considerable attention. His quiet personality and dominating presence, combined with his incredible 6'7" stature, were the subject of much speculation regarding his potential political future. Onlookers pointed to his careful positioning behind the podium, combined with his subdued personality, as subjecting him to discussions about his possible objectives and role in politics. Barron maintained a low profile on campus, but was not forgotten. At NYU, he was notable for his stature and ubiquitous security. His lack of presence on social media and in public discourse was remarked upon by colleagues, who depicted him as enigmatic. Conservative circles found solace in his alleged strategic prowess and affiliations with powerful right-wing leaders, which only added to scrutiny. Barron took his grand step into politics in July 2024, when he joined his father for his first campaign rally in Doralee, Florida. Barron was given a standing ovation by the audience as Donald Trump welcomed him to the ceremony. The ex-president admitted that it was a transition from Barron's carefree, easygoing life and proposed a new era, where Barron could be more engaged in matters of public affairs. Apart from public speaking, Barron has been keen on media strategy and technology. He has been instrumental in getting his father appear on popular podcasts so he can engage with younger generations. This strategy involves suggesting appearance on shows such as This Past Weekend, Theovona, and Logan Paul's Impulse, which have garnered millions of views and effectively resonated with the Gen Z and millennial generations. Barron's recommendations have been called ratings gold by senior advisor Jason Miller, showing their potential to increase the popularity of the company. Donald Trump has publicly complimented Barron's technical skills. In other interviews, he has spoken about being amazed at Barron's computer abilities, such as how he could simply unlock laptops. Trump was so proud of his son's abilities that he even predicted future prospects for Barron, forecasting that he would enter the tech field more than pursuing business or politics in his father's footsteps. Barron's transformations of personal style and the spotlight it has brought have also added to his increasing public profile. He was spotted in a gold Rox Daytona timepiece valued at some $50,000, 0 cents, when he and his mother, Melania, returned to Trump Tower with him in March 2025. Besides signifying his appreciation for high-end things, the sighting also reflected his emergence in the style and fashion circles. Barron has, however, been able to exercise some control over the scrutiny that comes with the public life of his family despite his rising fame. His commitment to reconciling his private ambitions with public demands is evident through his refusal to become a delegate to the 2024 Republican National Convention due to prior engagements. The move indicates that he means business when it comes to political activism and selects activities that align with his academic and personal obligations. Rumblings about Bear's next moves are increasing as he pursues higher education and slowly makes his presence known. While some see a future career playing off his technological savvy, others foresee a political adventure. Barron's past duties show us that the young fellow is sensitive to brokering the relationship between family legacy, public expectation, and personal aspiration, whatever he decides. Perhaps it is that Barron Trump's most lasting impressions are those fleeting emotional outbursts we so seldom catch sight of, instead of flashes in the sunlight, a flash of emotion. Barron Trump has been a fascinating figure since he was little, not because he was political, but because of his infrequent appearances in public and quiet dignity. But the infrequent emotional displays revealed more about his private life and family connections. One such moment was a touching family scene that was aired in a rare video clip from an episode of The Apprentice aired in 2006. Melania is seen welcoming Donald Trump as he walks in the door with baby Barron in his arms. "Daddy's coming home," Melania coos. As she descends the stairs in a blanket-covered baby in tow, Donald displays a side of the family America never gets to see, embracing his wife and son. The intimate moment provides a poignant glimpse into their family life. Then, on July 13, 2024, a tragic accident took place that would leave its mark on the Trump family. Donald Trump was shot at by an assassination attempt while attending a campaign rally in Pennsylvania. Upon a gunshot grazing the previous president, Secret Service agents acted swiftly against the disorienting backdrop. Melania and Barron see the atrocious scene play out live on television. She talks about the excessive agony they went through in her biography Melania, how they kept replaying the video repeatedly. Their anxiety increased with every replay despite the fact that they were aware Donald had survived. The frailties and insecurities of being in the spotlight were brought into sharp relief by this heinous crime. It was especially devastating for Barron. He was on the tennis court at the time when an aide burst through to inform him of the assassination attempt on his father. Worried, Barron approached the mother directly. "Mom, what's happening? What's happening?" The reaction proved the close father-son relationship and the psychological strain such events have on the loved ones of celebrities. After the incident, Donald Trump publicly thanked his family for their love and support. He spoke about the issue in an interview with Fox News, demonstrating how much it had influenced Barron and Melania. He underscored their close relationship and commended his son as a terrific kid, a good student, and a good athlete. The public recognition from someone as rare as CNN illustrates the network of relatives who have assisted Trump during hard times. When Melania's mother, Amalai Canabez, died in January 2024, the Trump family united in a rare show of weakness. His composed public face could not hide how moved he was at his funeral in Palm Beach, Florida. Barron Trump surprised everyone by reaching out and touching his father's shoulder in a consoling gesture in the period of mourning. The move was discreet but forceful, illustrating the strength of their bond and giving people a glimpse into the innermost sentiments of the family that are not easily accessible to the outside world. While infrequent, such episodes reveal the emotional dynamics of the Trump family. They show a seldom glimpsed side of Barron, a young adult who is close to his family and possesses an immense ability for compassion and encouragement. These events give insight into the values and relationships that define his character as he matures. Barron's life is one of privilege and normalcy, aside from these extremely publicized events. Efforts were made to give local town life to him, despite all the limelight his family was receiving. For instance, Melania made it a point to stress the importance of having a stable environment for him in his childhood and frequently featured their common pursuits and activities. The public has remained largely in the dark concerning Barron Trump's existence, but occasionally a tender moment or two has spotlighted how tight-knit the Trump family is. These events celebrate the universal themes of love, support, and resilience that unite families together, along with humanizing a family who is usually in the national limelight. The big announcement that changed everything. Barron Trump spent most of his life out of the limelight, though his family was under heavy media coverage. But then, in 2024, things took a turn after a shocking run-in with his father, Donald Trump, left everybody stunned. What was supposed to be a historic moment, Barron's graduation from high school, was turned into a talking point sooner than anyone anticipated. People speculated about his future move. Would he venture into business like his dad? Would he avoid politics completely? Then the news bomb hit. Barron had been selected to go to the Republican National Convention in Florida as a delegate. The news created rumors about whether it was the start of his political life. But days later, Barron's mother, Melania Trump, announced in a statement that he had declined the offer. The sudden turn of events had generated interest, but the actual emotional moment never came until a campaign rally in Florida. Standing by his father, Barron had always been reserved and unobtrusive in public. Something was off that day, however. Donald Trump turned to Barron and made an unusual personal comment as he addressed the crowd about their family's legacy in the future. "My proudest moment is this young man. I am so proud of him because he has stood with me through everything." The Barron was touched by the plain but significant words like never before. He glanced down for an instant, evidently controlling his feelings. Then, to everyone's surprise, the Barron took the microphone for his first public speech. His composed, emotionally laced speech weighed on everyone in a way nobody anticipated. "My dad is the reason why I am where I am today, and everything I have learned," he stated. "I shall never leave him, whatever happens in the future." The crowd went wild with applause. But the following moment was much more emotional. Tears in his eyes, the Barron looked at his father as he ended his speech and hugged him for the first time in public. He is known to be strong and usually unshakable in his positions, and Donald Trump appeared to be deeply moved. Although momentary, it said a great deal. This was building for some time. In accordance with some close to the Trumps, Barron was fighting with his future following years outside the public eye. His words that day had made it appear as though he would be distancing himself from his family's history, contrary to general assumption. There was no question of his affection and adoration for his father, and even though he was uptight by nature, The emotional outburst proved a bond more profound than anything expressed in words. Internet users were quick to post videos of the incident, analyzing Barron's strange display of vulnerability. To some, it was a milestone that would portend a day down the line when he would ascend to a higher stature. To others, it was merely a son being expressive of his father's affection in a manner he had never done before. Barron's destiny remains unclear. His journey to manhood is still in process, and one thing is for sure: whether or not he will follow his own way or take up public life. That evening, Barron Trump spoke out of turn and revealed to the world a character that none of them had ever known. What was the turning point? What do you believe Barron's major announcement suggests for his future? Leave your comments below for more news. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Thank you for watching.